Mhm.
Oh, that's a new video.
Oh, man. What? Did it pop something up to tell you
Yeah,
that?
it was something new. I was like,
Oh,
oh, this is recording. I'm like, well, yeah.
look at that. Showing off. It's fancy.
Ooh,
Super fancy.
upgrades, people.
All the upgrades. So, all right. Well, all you dudes and dudettes that have not haven't been around for a while to hear our awesome voices, welcome back.
We know it's been a whole 2 weeks. So,
I know it's been crazy, but it was super worth it because Comics Pro was an amazing time. Um, it was awesome, man. I got to take guys from New Zealand and Australia to the warehouse and India to the warehouse. Um, we got to actually pitch some things to them for the POS system that we use. So you guys will see some new cool stuff rolling out through that. Um, DC Comics made the announcement they're finally returning their release schedule to Tuesday or to Wednesday again instead of Tuesday, starting in July.
yeah, you are super
Best
excited about
best
that.
ex best fucking announcement in the whole weekend. I'm not even kidding. It was awesome. Um, very excited about that. Uh, other than that, I mean, really isn't a lot of news. Like even though Comics Pro happened, there really wasn't a ton of news. Like it was really bizarre. Like nothing out of that was like earth shattering. It was a lot of like, okay, cool. All right, I like what you're going with. I see what you're coming out with. All right, all right. And it was all good momentum, which was great. It just wasn't like there wasn't any like super earth shattering news. Like the most earth shattering thing was DC pushing back to Wednesday again, which was awesome. So I know a couple of the staff were like, why is this cool? And the other ones were like, thank God. So, so it was interesting to see where it went. So, but we got to hang out with some cool people. Claudio and Chandra were there as Prizefighter Inferno as an impromptu concert, which was super awesome. Amy Jo Johnson was there signing copies of the Power Rangers Return book, which I think I might have my copy here. Hold on,
Although,
maybe.
what our
No,
fellow
I don't.
I did enjoy your
Downstairs.
story about our fellow cohort
Oh,
podcasting,
so
where
all right. Listen. So we get in line. So well, also, so Tony Fleeks was there. Dave Wachter was there. Dave's a great dude. They were pitching their new book, which I'll show you here in a second. Um, and like Boom really brought it this year. Uh, Comicsburg also did very well. They brought a lot to that too, and they were all set up, and it was really good. The lounge was cool. Um, everybody loved the fact that I brought them Pop Tarts, so it was good. Um, so uh, so we get in line for the Boom thing, right? The Boom booth to like see, like get free swag and some stuff like that, and meet like the guy from The Displaced and the guys from Man's Best, and Tony and Dave are at the end. But the very first person is Amy Jo Johnson, and we don't. I forgot she was going to be there. So we get in line and we're talking to some other independent creator guys, and we're just getting in line. And as we're coming down, I'm like, "Oh, cool, Amy Jo Johnson's here." Like in my head, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that was happening." Didn't say anything, and Tim just goes, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, is that Amy Jo Johnson? Please tell me that's not the paint. Is that fucking Kimberly? Oh my god, oh my." And I'm like, am I gonna? Are you gonna have to step out of line? Like, what are we doing here? And he's like, oh my God, she was my first crush. Oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna get back in the car with my wife. Oh my God, this is awful. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And I'm just like,
Oh,
dude, she's like tiny, like you blink and you miss her. She's so small. Like It's fine. You're gonna be fine. And
Yeah.
he's just like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do this. Super funny. The whole like it was just super awkward, funny, and just watching him go up there and talk to her was really fun. She was super sweet though. Like honest to
Mhm.
God, she was probably like one of the sweetest people I've ever met. She was very nice, and very just chill. We talked to her about some places to eat, and then later that night, boom, ended up walking into the place that I tried to go take some people to, and they had taken up so much space that there was no room for us. And I was like, "Damn you, boom!" But it was cool. And I got later that night, I ended up with a Amory Wars No World for Tomorrow poster signed with by Claudio and Chandra. Talked to him a little bit. It was a good time. But one of the other cool things that came out of Comics Pro, and I'm giving all the props that I can to the boss because he did this. I told him, I was like, boss, you did good, and thank you for that, and I'm glad it worked out. And he was for the most part cool about the whole thing. He just was a little bit like, I don't think where we put him was thought out very well. And I'm like, that's because I wasn't there, but it's cool. Um, but it's I didn't want to say that, but that's how I feel. Anyway, I thought it worked out. I thought it looked fine. Um, but so Jeff Johns came to the waterfront and like 200 people showed up. So before before he before I left on Thursday night though, I waited till after he was done with his presentation and I totally walked up to him like total fanboy and was like, Mr. Johns, I'm really sorry, but I work for Todd and I can't make it to the signing tomorrow. Is there any way you would sign some of my books? And I had left some books at the store for him to
Mhm.
sign too. But he was totally cool. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'll totally sign." Which then started a flood of other people doing the same thing, which I felt really bad about. But
Mhm.
so he signed my Ghost Machine Comics Pro sketch cover, which is cool.
Mhm.
Um, and my Green Lantern one, No Fear. Um, so he signed those at Comics Pro. Then I had these two sitting at the store that I wanted him to do, and he did. So here's a Blackest Night one where he signed in the eyeball, which is awesome. Um, and then this Flash Rebirth one, which is the first Jeff Johns book I ever read, and I love that he redid the Flash's logo. Um, Bo out. I didn't see what he did to yours, but it looks like he's doing remarks on a lot of stuff. Bo
Okay.
got a was it Green Lantern 48, like the first Larfleeze cover where he's like holding the Orange Lantern, and Jeff
Hmm.
Johns rewrote over the mine. He like with a marker wrote mine real big.
Nice.
Um, so that was kind of cool. And then this is my Uncanny Valley Dave Wachter Tony Fleek's book coming out. Um, and so this book's actually kind of interesting because they talked about it. So it's like half humans, half like half animated people. So like this so like this book is like a sketch sort of sketchbook. So here's like all the humans and Dave did all the humans and they look really good, right?
Okay.
And then they find out that the grandfather of the kid is actually a cartoon character who looks kind of like Elmer Fudd and like the crows from like Looney Tunes come in and then there's the grandfather, right? But they interact like that. So it's almost like Cool World and Roger Rabbit but like a little more serious tone. So I'm excited
Okay.
for that. I just got an email from Dave today talking about doing signing events for when it releases. So we will announce those as soon as we lock those in. So make sure you check that out. Then we went to Happy Valley Comic Con in
Yes, we
State
did.
College.
Yes, we did.
And it was a good time. They had increased attendance, which was awesome.
Yes.
The
And it
layout
was
was pretty much a little bit better.
Mhm.
We were stuck. The one of the cosplay groups happened to stick one of their backdrops sideways and then stood off to the side, and it kind of blocked people from seeing us. But we did respectfully good. We were okay. Um, but it was a fun time. I really like just to go to hang out.
Yeah.
I am a little bit mad that the one restaurant slash brewery lost my reservation, but it worked out because we got to have dinner with some friends, and
Yeah.
it was a good time, and I think we ended up with better food. So
Yeah. It was our third choice, granted, because our
yeah,
second
yeah.
choice is closed down too.
You know what though? So our first choice is the brewery. The second
Mhm.
choice was Outback, but it looks like a lot of Outbacks are actually closing, which is weird.
Oh, does that mean Outback's
So
closing down? Down.
yeah,
Okay.
the one in South Hills Village closed down.
Oh my.
So yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Mhm.
So maybe a bunch of them are closing. I don't know.
Mhm.
And then speaking of closing, more crazy, like, man, I keep feeling bad for these guys, and I don't know what to tell them to make it better. So the DoubleTree Hotel in Monroeville closed, which is the hotel right beside the convention center, which is closing in June,
Mhm.
and is where Steel City Con holds a lot of their uh
Celebrities.
celebrities during their show. So
Mhm.
now they're like kind of screwed for their April show, and I don't like I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, they could probably get some room at the mall or like an empty retail
Uh,
space around there, but
I'm gonna
I
say,
or just not do a panel room and shove everybody in there. But then they're really gonna have to watch Fire Code, and like I don't.
it's gonna be like it was a couple of years
It's
ago, where everybody's gonna be back to back to back, and
well, I
they'll
mean,
complain.
it's gonna be rough, and I feel really bad for them. I feel bad for the vendors. Um, I feel bad for all those people who just got their like weddings and other shit canceled from that
I was
hotel
gonna say
too.
that was
Like that was some bullshit.
shame
Like
on
they
DoubleTree.
literally
Yeah,
called the people that were in the rooms and were like, "You need to find a new place tomorrow because you're checking out and we're closing." Like that's some crazy shit, man.
I was gonna say that's ow.
Right? So anyway, we feel bad for all those guys. We wish them the best of luck. Um, there's really nothing else that I think we can say because you know, I besides we feel bad for them. Like, what can we do? Nothing.
Nothing.
So I just I wish them the best of luck, man. Like that totally. That I did not. No one saw that one coming. Like the convention center thing. I was like, okay, I could see that. But
Yeah,
then the hotel not even waiting until the convention center closed to close. I was like, holy crap. So that's rough.
that's what boggles my mind a little bit is that was used, yes, in tandem with the convention center,
Hmm.
but it's also one of those hotels that if you couldn't get a hotel like directly in Pittsburgh, it's pretty close to Pittsburgh. It's
Yeah.
a stone's throw away, you know,
Well, a lot of guys
however.
when they do business, like a lot of the corporate guys that go to the mall for stuff and all the stuff
Yeah,
down the
it's
road,
it's
like
so weird.
yeah. I mean, there are
I
other hotels. It's just
yeah,
that one's right
right
there.
there. Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
from what I understand, part of it was that Hilton, it's a DoubleTree, but Hilton and Hilton really wanted them to like do a bunch of improvements, and that wasn't gonna. They were like, no, we're not making enough money to do that, so they weren't doing it. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's kind of
So
annoying,
it's
but
like make it a better experience for our customers. No, we don't want to do that.
right.
Like,
Um,
okay.
oh yeah. Before I forget, guys, don't forget this Saturday is Free Graphic Novel Day. We have a ton of free graphic novels to give
Mhm.
away. Just you get one for coming in, you get another one if you buy another graphic novel in the store. You could buy one off the table for $5. So literally for $20 plus tax, you would get 9 graphic novels off the table, if you so choose.
Mhm.
Um, but it's a good time. There are new stuff. There's some new stuff we added this year that was not on there the years previous. So make sure you go check that out. Um, that's all locations this Saturday, all day.
Mhm.
And yeah, sorry I'm so tired. I don't know what the hell's going on, but
Uh, mind
I
if
think
I show
it's
off some of the stuff I got from Happy
sure.
Valley? All right.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll,
I bought a page of art from Wayne Fauscher, but it's
yeah.
downstairs and I forgot about it. I forgot to bring it up.
His first one is, and I had a good half-hour talk with this gentleman, Mr. Keith Williams here. He is an inker. He inked the Phantom for decades,
Hmm.
and nicest dude. I gave him our info, so maybe next year he will be down for coming down and doing it. For all those old school guys, he would definitely be someone you enjoy there. I told him all about my Phantom and how that was one of the first things I ever read comic wise, and it was always in the Sunday funnies. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I did most of those. He's like, I was like, oh, that's cool. It nice dude. I really enjoyed
That's
talking
awesome.
with him. Uh, I forget what vendor I got these off of. I forget. He was the one punk rock dude that said he knew Todd. I
Oh,
I forget like
oh,
the
uh,
company.
I forget what his name was too. He was really cool though.
Yeah, yeah. I got my last three Undertaker Chaos comics I've been looking for.
Nice.
So that is a run done and complete. And last but not least, thank you, Keith down there in Nerdbox. Gave me a deal on a Tales to Astonish 70,
Ooh,
a Tales to Astonish 101,
ooh.
and I gave me a heck of a deal on a Sandman number 4, first appearance of Lucifer Morningstar.
Okay, we can
So
kind of see that, even though it's graded.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I
oh, I guess I do have some more news. Well, also, you're probably wondering why we called this "What Happened to Justin's Books." Um, so because Justin and I were in state college and couldn't go to the Jeff Johns signing, his books are in my car. That's why they're. I don't know why they didn't keep them, knowing you were going to be there today, but whatever.
Hibbert said he didn't know if I was going to show. I was like, dude, I told you the whole month of February.
Yeah,
That includes today.
it includes
Granted,
Leap Day. It
it,
includes Leap
yeah, it
Day.
include. No, he would have been right any other year within 4 years. So
That's true. You
yeah,
were in the cycle. Yeah.
you know,
So anyway, I have something else to announce. So this is a very experiment thing we are going to do. So by next weekend, our Ohio store will have some Avengers Volume 1, Batman New 52, Sandman, Thor Volume 1, Saga, and Walking Dead and Walking Dead Deluxe back issues listed on their store website. If these go well, then you will see more of that, mostly in Elwood, because we have selections that can be um not touched by customers. So they don't get messed up. Um so you may start seeing more back issues on there. Now, we will not do the 50/50 on an online purchase. That is not how that works. But you can also, starting right now, buy something from one of the other stores on their website and choose to just get it transferred to one of your local stores for a cheaper price. Um, it probably will end up being about $1 to do that, but right now it's at a penny. So if you are a Butler guy who wants to buy some stuff off the Waterfront's website, you can get that transferred for a penny right now after you pay for everything. And you still get your rewards. You can still use your rewards on the online purchase. But probably starting in April, it will become $1 to do that. We're just trying to get people to try it out right now and see how well it works. But you have to go to the website, you have to purchase the item first, and then you can get it transferred to your local store. And then we'll just give you a call when it gets there. It usually takes about a week. And the reason we're charging $1 is going to be like when we transfer those, if you buy we imagine this is going to be a lot of single book stuff. we're going to be charging you the dollar because we're going to put everything in a bag and board ahead of time so that it kind of covers part of that cost. That's really all that is. You don't really have to worry about it as much. Um, so okay, I think that's it. We can start talking about all right. I we're gonna talk about the the fact that I watched all of the X-Men animated series since last time we were on because we talked about the 97. So in 2 weeks, I watched all 5 seasons of X-Men 93. Which only ran to 96, which was really weird. But sure, whatever. That's when Marvel went into bankruptcy. That's why Spider-Man stopped, and then stuff was going to go into UPN, and then after that, like Saban took over Spider-Man and turned it into the Spider-Man Unlimited. But Saban had done the X-Men show. So watching this on Disney Plus is weird because they put it in more of a storyline chronological order, not a as it aired chronological order. So stuff's jumbled around a little bit. Like there's an episode with like X Factor in season 2 that's actually a season 5 episode. And you could tell by the animation and the intro, because the intro for the last season was all like this dude wailing on electric guitar. But it's the same song, just electric guitar version. So after watching all of it, I have some issues, we'll call it. Most of them are so there are characters that in the comics they would have known before they show up. So in like the third episode, you meet Warren Worthington the third as Angel. Like he wears this full-on post X Factor red and white Angel costume. Apocalypse is already there, and in the next episode, he is turned into Archangel already. And none of the X-Men know who he is. Like, at all. At all. But then later, in like season 4, you see flashbacks of the original team, and Angel is obviously there. So what the fuck? And then...
Well, if I recall, his first X-Men he meets in the series was Rogue. She wouldn't know who he was, technically.
Yeah, but the rest of the team meets him as like, and she talks to them about him, and they're like, I don't know who that is. They're like, who? Like, who is that guy? And it's like, oh, that's Warren Worthington, whatever. And then so then there's an Age of Apocalypse-ish sort of episode, because it's not really Age of Apocalypse, but it's one of the heavy time travel episodes.
Yes.
So, which I will be honest, I think they're my favorite, are all the time travel episodes. Like the Bishop and Cable episodes are all my favorite ones. And I don't know why.
Probably like, because Bishop is really good in this series. Like,
yeah,
his character is really fleshed out.
Yep.
You see where he's coming from, and especially the battle between him and Cable. That was fun. That was like them battling each other with their guns. Yep. Whose future gun is more powerful? And it's one of those favorite things that sticks.
$30.99 or $20.99. You choose.
Yeah.
I really like their episodes. I like the Archangel episodes. Like they just all really work for me. The 2 or 3 Nightcrawler episodes really work for me. But anyway, so there's this one Age of Apocalypse-ish episode where Fitzroy goes back to kill Professor X. And you see this alternate reality, right?
Yes.
So it's this alternate reality with these dudes, and they're like, so they're fighting Sentinels, and you see Mimic, who you've not seen in the show because Morph is supposed to be Mimic, right? He like the character replaced Mimic because Mimic dies in like an early issue of the show of the books. So you see Mimic flying around and like blasted with Cyclops' eyes and has Angel's wings and he's big like Beast and all that shit. So he's there. And then in the same scene, you see Exiles looking Morph sitting there in the Exile style suit. Now they did also draw Caliban to kind of look like Morph, like that,
Yeah.
or I guess
I think
Exiles Morph kind of looked like Caliban.
that was
So it
probably Caliban.
could have been Caliban.
Yeah.
Um,
But
I
again,
also
alternate reality too.
right, but it was the only episode we got. Storm with her freaking mohawk that was
Mohawk, yeah.
awesome.
And I liked
Um,
the romantic between
her
her
and
and
Wolverine,
Wolverine,
yeah,
which is, the whole series, like, as much as it's a meme with him yearning with the picture and the whole thing, the whole series is basically shitting on Wolverine's love life. Like, he can't catch a break in that
right.
entire series. It's
Silver
like
Fox,
Silver
Jean,
Fox,
Storm,
Jean, Storm.
Yuriko. Yeah, they're all
It's
like he
like,
is terrible.
if they're
It's
not
awful.
dead, they
So
like they put them in the friend zone, and if they
yep.
don't do that, they hate them. It's like it's the whole spectrum. And I again, one of my favorite also is the Weapon X program, like his background and everything. And again, this is the series that to me was very um influenced my Wolverine love of short dude with an attitude. Like I said, gets crapped on by all the chicks. That was definitely me. Like the Weapon X thing was definitely like we all know is kind of a whole thing of that first Vietnam, kind of an anti-Vietnam of what vets deal with, the
Yep.
PTSD, and having a father who did that, who served, and he did have that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that ingrained in my mind, my psyche, my like reading. So it's definitely one of those. You can see why Wolverine got popular in the 90s.
Mm,
Very focused on him, which I
yeah.
have no issue with. Although I love the Omega Red stuff too. Omega Red really was a
Yeah.
good bad guy for the most
I,
part.
I thought he
Like,
was okay. I think some of my favorite Wolverine episodes were probably like the one where him and Captain America are like fighting the Nazis in World War
yes,
II
yes.
and they beat up the Sleeper and the Red Skull's there. Um Although the animation in that last season was so
So
weird.
bad.
It
Mhm.
wasn't bad. It was just different and it was weird.
Yeah, it throws
Um
you off because
yeah.
you got used to what 1 through 4, that shading and very realistic, almost
Well,
lifelike.
it looked nah, it looked like a mix between like if they took the anime or if they took the video game, like the arcade game at that time, and made it into an animated show. That's what it was.
Yeah,
It was like dumbing down Jim Lee's art, but it was fine. It worked. It worked for
yeah,
what it wanted to be.
and
But
then
then in this last season, like all their outfits changed, sort of. Like Jean went from having a ponytail to having full hair. Rogue lost her butt and her hair was less. Um, Storm had more hair. Jubilee changed outfits every single freaking episode and finally looked Asian. Um, and then or Pacific Islander. I don't know what her actual. I can't remember
I
what her
think she's
actual.
supposed to be like the South Asian type,
Okay,
where it's like,
so more Pacific Islander.
yeah,
Okay, um, and and Gambit, like it was like we used Gambit in the first 2 seasons, and then we don't for 2 whole seasons, and then he's back in the last season, and it's like, what the hell? And like same with Jean, it's like where the hell did Jean come back from? Like all of a sudden she's back. Like they do the Phoenix Saga, and then they like don't use her for like or Dark Phoenix Saga, and then they don't use her for a long time, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're gonna use her, and then the finale, it's like, oh, we have to wrap up literally everything. So Jean's back. We're to bring the Shi'ar back, like all kinds of stuff. It's like, what the hell?
they were just
Um,
throwing everything to the wall, and it
and
was
one of the weird episodes that I didn't think I was gonna like, but I did, was the Mr. Sinister origin episode.
Yes, that
Um,
was really good.
it was very good, but it was like super out of place,
Yeah,
but it was
it
good.
didn't fit. It didn't
Yeah.
fit in any of the whole season five.
Yeah.
This that would have been an awesome episode, maybe for this upcoming like
Yeah.
X-Men 97, and that could have been like episode one of the origin of Mr. Sinister. But I can't complain. It was good storytelling. I love
Mhm.
the fact that Xavier's ancestor was like his enemy,
Right.
friend slash enemy, and it was so weird. I was like, okay, that's cool. I love that tie-in. That
Right.
was really nice.
I also really I liked the Phalanx episodes, but I liked it for Warlock, not for the actual Phalanx stuff, because they kind of jacked up the Phalanx storyline. Um, but I also like the one with Cannonball. Like, it was a really random one-off episode, and I'm like, oh, Cannonball's in this. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of hoping for more of that kind of stuff, but it didn't really pan out.
My this is like one of my kind of things. I hope if X-Men 97 does very well, maybe we will see a New Mutants animated series a couple
Maybe.
years down the road.
I mean, Rain's already been in multiple episodes. Rain
Yeah.
was in the X Factor episode. Rain was in the episode with Phalanx. Also thought it was weird that Sunfire was like kind of a douche and not a good guy in that episode. But like I said, I have some issues with it. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. I I give it like a 4 out of 5. Like, I thought it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You
In
know,
general, most of the stories were like, I don't want to say the seasons were awesome, not because not every season was good,
no.
but I want to say those first two seasons were like the groundbreaking.
Hmm.
And those were definitely the years that people were like, "Did you see X-Men? It was awesome," and you got all the really cool storylines like Beast, and the Friends of Humanity
Hmm.
kidnapping his girlfriend, and that was like a really you really see the bigotry and the what that people have to deal with, even
Yeah.
currently. This
Oh
is
yeah. Like,
for those.
there's actually an episode where they talk to Magneto about, or Magneto ends up joining forces with him. It might be the Phalanx episode. Like,
Mhm.
where they basically are like stop, like, people need to stop, like, being so filled with hate toward each other and just accept people for each other. And like, all those dudes who like are now complaining because they're like, oh, Morph's non-binary. Yeah, he was non-binary on that show too. He just didn't they didn't just say that he was non-binary.
Binary, yeah,
So what, I guess the thing is like, would it have made a difference if they wouldn't have said that? Like, does it matter? Because I don't care.
yeah,
I just want the character to do character things. Like,
yeah,
but if they're gonna, if it's needed to be stated for a storyline, then maybe.
yeah.
Um, I also thought it was interesting that they did the Nightcrawler's old the old background where Mystique's his mom.
Mhm.
Um, I thought that was interesting. Although now Mystique being his dad is even more weird. But
But again,
whatever.
this was like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So a lot
Yeah.
has changed in 30 years. And a
Right.
lot hasn't changed in 30 years. So, you
You're
know,
you're
you're
also not wrong. So cool.
so certain people would like to go back to 30 years or 40 years or 100 years. It depends on whose perspective you're
That's
looking at.
fair. All right.
So,
All right. So we're gonna now move to comics. And
yep.
so I don't like it when we get too political. I want to just keep moving. So here we go. Comics.
Yes.
Boom. Wait, hold on. There we go. You're
Ah,
first.
okay.
I forgot to back it up to the beginning. So
Okay. All right, Resurrection of Magneto #2. We left off with Storm finally finding Magneto in, I guess it's hell, or the hell dimension, afterlife dimension, whatever you want to call it. In the beginning of this book, there's a flashback, and you see this sea witch, and she has Namor in a pinch, like he has like this. Um, I don't know, some creature on his face suffocating him. And Magneto negotiates with the Sea Witch to please release him, you know. And
Give me
she's
my
like,
boy back.
well, she's like, you may regret this, or blah, blah, blah. And you were wise in your choices. He was not. Um, well, it's Namor. What do you expect? He probably mouthed off to her, and that's, got him in
Hmm,
trouble.
fair
But
enough.
Magneto doesn't do that. Um, but as a um, kind of a, I guess, second reward, she gives him a key. And she's like, this key will stay with you your entire existence. She's like, even in death, this key will always be on you. So that becomes a very important towards the end of the book here. So we flash forward and we see Magneto suffering in his own hell, own personal hell. You see the names of all his victims, whether he personally hurt them or they got hurt because he was leading mutant rebellion against humans. Um, he even um, considers his younger self victimized by him currently. Um, and you're seeing this. He has no eyes. You just see like the blood drip down. It's very like moving, and it's very Magneto of the suffering and the weight he carries as his character tends to do. Uh, Storm sees him and she talks to him. She sees he's kind of broken a little bit, but she helps him see that not only has he done evil, but he has done good as well. And you see a wall of the people he has helped. And he's like, I can't take this. He's like, I can't see this. And then she puts her hands over his face and returns his eyes to him. This essentially kind of gets his morale back up, and he whips out the key and he has the key. Um, and he turns the key, and this dark door opens below them. Storm and Magneto fall down, and you hear this voice, very familiar voice, um, talking to Storm and Magneto, and you see the outline of the Shadow King. So I cannot
Ooh.
wait. And actually, that last page is really awesome. I kind of want a Shadow King sketch now because
Mm.
it's a really cool looking piece. Uh, but I'm looking forward to seeing where the rest of this goes. Um, I'm gonna give me like 3 scrambled eggs with some cheddar,
Mm.
uh,
Cheddar. Some
cheddar.
cheddar.
Give me some slice of bacon, some sausage a little bit, and give me a good glass of milk there, because this was a solid book all the way through. For those who like to read a lot of the Magneto books, like his short series and everything, this definitely's got to be one of my favorites over the last couple of years. They've put out a couple, so kind of looking forward to see where this is going to go.
Cool. My first book is Spider-Woman 4, Gang War. Um, this concludes her miniseries for Gang War. So this book, oh man, it's so weird. So it's going to be confusing if you haven't read the last Edge of Spider-Verse, where Spider-Woman was basically removed from the universe for a while. Okay, she's moved from existence. She has been snipped from the web of life. Um, so therefore, everyone forgets who she is, which includes the armadillo who's babysitting her son Jerry, who still exists, but because he wasn't being taken care or wasn't being sought after, Hydra came in and they took the baby and they basically put him in like an accelerated growing pod, for lack of a better term. And they have trained him to be the Green Mamba. So he, she comes back into the world. Everyone remembers who they are, but her son Jerry is now the Green Mamba, and he's about to kick everybody's booty. So, there's a big fight scene between her and Diamondback. Madam Web shows up, who's Jessica Carpenter. Um, uh, Captain Marvel shows up. Big fight. Jerry gets knocked into the water. Um, they kind of let him. They don't rescue him, so I don't know if he's going to be dead or if he's going to come back later. He's probably going to come back later. Um, but it ended that gang war chunk, and instead of Diamondback being in charge of that space, now Madam Mask is. Um, so it was kind of cool, but it was also a little bit depressing because of the Jerry being just all of a sudden grown up, and there's a you know and kind of following in her mom's footsteps of being raised by Hydra and turned into a killing weapon and stuff like that. So it was okay. The mini was pretty good for the most part. Um I'm gonna say I'm gonna give this book uh I'm gonna give it 2 warm Pop Tarts and and like a protein shake. That's what I'm giving it because that sounds like a very Jessica Drew breakfast.
What kind of Pop Tarts though? That's
Oh, blueberry.
ooh.
I see her doing a blueberry or s'mores. I don't really see her doing strawberry or like brown sugar or like anything like that. I think she's either a blueberry or a s'mores girl. And now, hold on. Let me
Where's Daddy in
hold
this?
on.
Where's
Wait,
Luke
wait, wait.
Cage in this? This is my
Okay.
question.
So, all right. I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna let you do your next book. Luke
Okay.
Cage is not the baby daddy. Luke Cage
I
is
thought he
Jessica.
was.
No, that's
Or did they
uh
change that?
no, that's Jessica Jones is
Oh,
his baby mama.
okay.
Yeah, his like I don't think they actually ever said who the baby daddy is for Jessica Drew's kid, to be
Huh.
honest. Yeah.
All right.
I don't think so. So,
Wolverine
all right. But here's what I'm gonna
44.
do. Hold on. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna figure out who I'm gonna find the writer for that book, and I'm gonna ask them what they think Jessica Drew's. I'm gonna find them on Twitter and I'm gonna message them, or I'm gonna tag them and be like, "What do you think Jessica Drew's favorite Pop Tart flavor would be?" So,
All
all right, so I'm
right.
gonna do it right now, and we'll see if we can get an answer while before the end of the show. That would be awesome.
All right. Well, there's Wolverine 44. I tell you what, this is oof. Uh, for those who are enjoying the Sabretooth War, it seems to be getting better and better with every issue. This is like the aftermath of 616 Creed's attack on the mutant holdup in the Arctic. Um, Basically, it's a lot of burying a lot of the mutants that were murdered by the various Creed bots and the Creeds of alternative dimensions. Um, Wolverine is sitting there. He's on an operating table, swearing up a storm, swearing he's going to kill Sabretooth. They're trying to put his hands back together and everything else. They're everybody's in mourning. It's just not looking good for anybody right now. Um, Domino and Colossus inform Wolverine that they have a runner. You find out that Cap Creed is still alive, and he's trying to get back to Sabretooth, basically for revenge on Sabretooth for leaving him, for them leaving him there. But Wolverine, Colossus, and Domino track him down. Um, they bring him back to the base and are basically torturing the crap out of him. Um, and they can't really get anywhere because he's pretty much resisting anything that they've tried. Here till enter Phoebe, and she just totally mind dives into his head, just ripping information out of his head. And it's basically everything that's happened. Kind of gets you caught up a little bit on what's going on, like all the stuff Sabretooth's done, Wolverine over the years, what they did, what the mutants did to him, how this is all payback because how dare they, betray him, blah, blah, blah. And they deserve everything they get. Um, the usual, Sabretooth logic here. And as she's doing this, she gets trapped a little bit because remember, Quentin is under Sabretooth's control. So Quentin is actually pushing back against Phoebe's attack against Cap Creed, which he eventually just gets his head blown off and he's done now for good. And Phoebe sees Quentin's mental image, and he's saying, "I'm sorry, this is not, I didn't want to do this. Sabretooth made me do it." And as they're dealing with all this and everybody's kind of in a frenzy, Wolverine slips out and he's going to confront Wolverine by himself. So it's a very, kind of a slight rewind, a lot of gore because again, this is I will say it again, this is the bloodiest we've had Wolverine in a long time in a main Wolverine volume and not just a mini series. I'm enjoying it, and I hope the rest of you guys are enjoying it out there. I'm going to give this, it feels like it's a usual, give me a couple slabs of meat, some, maybe some eggs, a whole bunch of spicy, give me some spicy peppers in there, some jalapenos with breakfast a little bit. Maybe wash it down with a whiskey at this point because you might as well start drinking with your breakfast a little bit in this book.
Fair enough.
So
I had whiskey with my breakfast today. I mean, wait, what?
it doesn't shock me.
Right. After the last 2 weeks, I mean,
I was gonna say you need it. So
all right. So my next book, Cobra Commander. Cobra la 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 la. I did that. By the way, I did that full on in the middle of an elevator in the hotel. Because I who was I in there with? I was with Mark Hammond, a buddy of mine who writes Oh Yeah Comics up in New York. And I think that was who it was. And somebody said something about the Cobra Commander book. I'm like, if you haven't read the Cobra Commander book, you really do need to. It's like really good. And they're like, come on, or they're like, why is it so good? I'm like, because it has Cobra Law in it. And he's like, you got to say it right if you're going to do it. I'm like, fine. So I do the full on Cobra la like Cobra la 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 as the door opens. Amy Jo Johnson standing there looking at me, and I'm just like, "Come on in, there's room." And she just starts laughing. So it was good. It was good. So anyway, this book picks up where the last one left off. It's got a lot of dreadnoughts in it. It's Cobra Commander meeting some dreadnoughts in what I think is like the Everglades. Um and he kind of ditches his security detail that the guys in Cobra Law sent with him. And he goes to this old house in it's got to be the bayou. I think it's not Everglades, it's bayou, I think. But they find like all this torture that's in there, and he's just the dreadnoughts show up and they're like, what are you doing here? And why are you wearing that big coat? Like, what are you doing? And so Cobra like starts like shooting at them and blows up their car. And Zorana shows up and is like, shut up about your car. Nothing can survive that forest. And Cobra Commander ends up falling in this lake with a bunch of alligators looking for the Energon. It was a really good, fun little ride, and it kind of it was cool to see the Dreadnoks in there. It's cool to see Cobra Commander kind of do I'm gonna be smarter than you, and then still kind of fuck up, and then still kind of make it happen anyway, which is kind of his whole shtick.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I am giving this, let's go with 3 pieces of French toast with some blueberries on top and some syrup.
Yeah.
And a croissant on the side.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. And coffee, but it's in one of those clear glasses, not like a mug. Like it's got
Nice.
to be like fancy, like restaurant style. Not quite fancy enough to be like hard-boiled egg on one of those little stands, but that's pretty much where we're at.
Okay.
But it's good. I like it. I like this book a lot. If you're not reading the Energon universe, you should be. It's probably one of the better written overall things going on right now that aren't in the Marvel and DC universe. And to be honest, it's a little bit better than the Marvel and DC universe, even though most of these guys are writing DC books anyway. So, but check it out. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Spider-Punk Arms Race #1. I was gonna say I enjoyed the last Spider-Punk book a ton. And
Same.
this did not disappoint, although there are not as many references to punk songs as there were in the first episode or the first issue of the last series. You do get some cool things in this book. You get the origin of Spider-Punk, which is very Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the toxic spider bite from basically from a barrel of green goo. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I did too. I thought that was I was like, oh, that's kind of like semi Batman-y, semi Spider-Man-y, semi Daredevil-y. Like there's a little bit of everything. I liked it a lot. I thought it worked out really well.
Yeah.
So
I like was it they call themselves the Spider Band instead of the Avengers. So I guess you could technically say this is the first appearance of the Spider Band as we know them as the Spider Band instead of just
yeah.
Yeah.
If they're like of the word use of Spider-Man. Yes.
Band, yeah.
By the
So
way,
this
the
is a lot
Maria
of
Wolf
firsts.
cover for this is fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't get one.
Oh,
I imagine
that was
the
probably long gone.
Tims the Tims probably got the ones at the waterfront. Somebody else at Ohio got it, and then Ryan didn't get it at the Mills. So I have no hope. No hope.
You can always try
So
to order. Uh,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
but this starts off with the Spider-Man battling. I'm gonna dub them the Metal Lizards because that's basically what they were. And it's consists of the Lizard, Sauron, Stegron, and the Vulture as their manager.
Yep.
Uh this was fun to me. This was, you know,
I thought it would be funnier if they were rock paper lizards, but
I like the one kind of looks like Danzig though.
yeah,
If you look his outfit.
they're almost like the Misfits. Like I think they were modeled after the Misfits.
A little bit, yeah, but
Yeah.
I would almost say they were more metal than they were punk. But hey, to each their own. They battle them, they beat them, that no big deal. But you also get to meet this book is a must-have if you are big in first appearances.
Mhm.
You get to meet Shuri and T'Challa of 138,
Mhm.
Universe 138. Shuri is technically the what? She's the liaison.
Mhm.
Um, and T'Challa is still king of Wakanda. You know, we just see the hologram version of him, I guess, throughout this. And they're helping rebuild the US after all the crap from the last um, series with the Oscorp goons almost destroying everything. Um, and while you see a lot of stuff between them, but you also get to meet Justin Hammer and Doc Ock
Yep.
of this universe as well. And they're doing their Sentinel Slayer program. So you get to see a good old fashioned Spidey enemy there. For those who love their Spider Slayers, this is that version of that. To a bunch of underground rich people. Um, the the Spider Man ends up fighting the Sentinel Slayer because apparently Justin Hammer is as foolish in this universe as he is in the 616 universe. Impatient and stupid. Presses the button and starts this Sentinel without telling Doc Ock anything. Um, but the Doc Ock is he's very patient and very calculating by the looks of it here. He even I do remember one pair where he talks about being superior, and they had to do it in the Superior Spider-Man title lettering there. So I thought that was kind of funny. Um, and that's like the end of that story. You actually get a mini story at the end here of
Mhm.
Mateo and Ms. Marvel hanging out in Philly, and they get attacked by yet another first appearance, 138 Bullseye. So
Yeah.
you see a nice little battle between them. It's very quick. It's like 2 pages, maybe three, and it's done and over with. Um, I really enjoyed this. This was super fun. Um, this seems to be, and I'm going to give this the most punk breakfast ever. Okay. This is going to be give me a beer and give me some Taco Bell uh st steak burrito with that.
Mm,
Extra on the beans because you got to fill up the beans there.
I'll do you one better. This is my rating for it.
Okay.
It is beer in a big, like the big glass mug with 2 raw eggs.
Oh,
Yep, and that's it.
I think I like the Taco Bell better.
Yeah, but that's like a real punk rock, like after wake up and have to deal with shit. Slam it back. Fuck.
That
Gotta
that's
go
the
back.
that's the Rocky way of doing it there.
It's the hangover. hangover cure, right? All right. My last one is the Ash Can for Man. This book is gonna be awesome. So it's a cat, a golden retriever, and a Boston Terrier, and they have like mech suits, and they are basically learning to use these mech suits in like a holodeck type thing. Um and their owners are like scientists and they're trying to get them to do this stuff. But it's really funny because like the Boston, it might be a Frenchie, but I'm pretty sure it's a Boston because I met the creators at the thing and I said, it's a Boston, right? And they're like, yeah. And it's funny because he keeps smelling his own butt. Um, and like at one point, like the bad robot shoots like this kind of force field at him, and they're just like, oh, it's warm. And they're like, really warm. Oh, it's really, really warm. And they like take off their mech suits, they just start laying into it. And the owners are like, really? So, but it's kind of cool, and like the golden retriever has like like a, a robot arm. Um, and at some point, if I remember what the rest of this pitch was, it was like almost like the humans end up getting lost, like get in trouble in space or something. And these guys are going to end up trying to help them, but their suits aren't really made to do that. But they can kind of do some stuff, but they think they're better. Like they think they're way more way better than they are. Like at one point, like the Boston starts flying around because he has like a giant rocket, and he's like, shoot him in the eye, and he shoots him, and he shoots him in the arm, and he's like, there, I did it. He's like, no, dude, the face, not the arm. I said the face. He's like, you said the arm. He's like, no, I said the face. So it's like really funny that like the cat is kind of like the leader, and the dogs are just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna go do this thing. Let's go help. Yay. Um,
Oh,
so I really enjoyed it mostly because of the Boston. Um, but it looks like a lot of fun, and it feels like it's going to be like that book that like if you're a pet lover, like if you're a cat or dog guy, or lady or non-binary or whatever you are, human, if you're a cat or if you're a pet human, um, it it is going to be appeal to you because of the like they basically try to make it react like the dogs and cats would. So, oh, hi Amber. All right, so I'm gonna give this oh man, I'm gonna give this a bowl of cereal, like a bowl of like Honey Nut Cheerios,
nice.
because my dogs would try to eat the Honey Nut Cheerios right out of the bowl with me when I eat them. So
Yes.
that's what this book gets.
Yeah.
So but check it out, it's a lot of fun. The real book comes out soon, so make sure you check it out. So
Uh,
sorry, I just had someone message one of the stores through Google, and they asked if we carry the King James Bible. I'm like, no, unfortunately, we don't carry the Bible. You may want to check like Books a Million or maybe Target or something. I'm not, no, no, we don't do that. It was just very weird. I was like, what? Is this real? Is someone pranking me? Um,
Lord.
it's fine. It's
Uh,
fine. It was just like very weird though. I was like, what the fuck? So,
oh,
um,
nice.
but yeah, that's pretty much all
Oh,
I have. Oh, I want to do an exclusive first look. So I got some cool shit in the mail today. So for all of you fans of the show, um, we are now in full propaganda mode, brainwashing inbound, um, with little flyers like this, and big flyers like this. Ah, looks
nice.
good. Yeah, it's good. This one's going right up on my wall with all my other ones that I have. Um, but this little bad boy is going to be everywhere in the next couple weeks. So make sure you check it out. That little QR code takes you right to the website so you can buy your tickets. The website's getting a makeover to match this stuff here in the next couple days, hopefully by Monday. And our poster features a photo taken by Jeff Zoot, who will be at the show taking photos of cosplayers and shooting with our featured cosplayers, which one of the featured cosplayers happens to be the guy dressed like Daredevil, Cash Branson, who's on the poster itself. So yeah, I'm real excited to get this thing rolling. I'm really excited to get these out to everybody. So if you are or know a place that would like to carry some, just hit us up. Hit me up, booking at threeriverscomiccon.com. I will work it out and we can give you some cool flyers and posters to hang around your store, your lunchroom, your break room, your desk, like whatever you want. We'll make it work. So cool. Other than that, I think that's it, really. Like there's nothing.
One more thing, totally forgot about this. We have another possible internet, like we need the internet's help to change a movie, apparently. The still shots for the new Crow movie have come
Oh,
out.
you know,
And I looked at it, I'm like, okay, it doesn't look so bad. And then someone made the meme of Jared Leto Joker right beside him, and I'm like, ah.
listen, I knew that's where you were going to go with that. However, like he doesn't have face tattoos,
That's
so it's okay.
no, he does. He has face tattoos. The others,
No,
yeah,
no. Hold on.
not when
I'm gonna
not him
fucking
in
look
the
at this.
Crow makeup, but you see him with face tattoos like Post Malone on the other two still shots when he's still alive. He has face
Hold on.
tattoos.
Hold on. Googling Googling this bitch. Hold on.
So gonna use a little bit of our please let's write to what company is doing this movie, by the way? I'm trying to figure out.
Um
I know Miramax doesn't exist anymore.
oh yeah. I mean, yeah, but it is a face tattoo, but it's a really tiny one. And then you can't really see it because it like blends in with his eyes makeup. So it's not bad.
I
I don't I don't think it's gonna be bad.
I'm hoping it's not bad.
I'm
So,
just wondering if he's gonna wear a shirt at all though. Like or if he's just gonna wear the trench coat. Cause like I see what you're saying.
yeah,
I just don't think that I mean the the one still he has like a small tattoo like right here above his eyebrow.
yeah,
But with his makeup on, it kind of covers it over.
yeah.
So that's kind of my
And that still shot could be him getting ready, like in the original Crow, where they did the whole him putting on makeup and get dressed and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
that might be that point. Um, but boy, being part of a couple of Crow forums, total explosion of what the F is this?
Right.
I feel like this is another Sonic situation
I
where it's
don't
like they put this out and you're like,
I
that
don't
don't
really
look right.
I don't really I don't know, man. I don't really think so because I think that a like an Eric Draven character, if he were now, there's a good chance
Yeah,
he probably would have.
would have.
Like
Yes.
I don't necessarily think he would have had all the shit that like Joker had, where he had like shit everywhere. Like that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like one, I'm not really mad about, or like even if they're matching, I'm not gonna be mad about that. But if it's
Yeah.
like over here and on his cheeks and on his neck, like everywhere, like it's just a lot of tattoos, that's where it's gonna be bad. But
Yeah.
if it's just okay, he's got one right here and maybe another one to match, I'm gonna be fine with it. Cause like all the ones on his chest look cool. Um,
Well,
I
except
thought
that weird one with it's like, is that supposed to be like Picasso's face or something with his nipples and eye?
no, I don't think so. I think that is supposed to be I think that's like the all-seeing eye, like the one you see.
That's in his chest.
Yeah.
But then there's one right below it
Hold
where
on.
it looks there's a face.
Let me see if I can find one, like the one that I found, the one website I found, it keeps cycling it through like a couple different photos. So hold on. Let me see if I can find a still. Okay. Oh yeah, it is like a face and his nipples the eye. Eh,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's
I don't really care. Oh, it okay. So it is just the one tattoo on his eyebrow.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering unless they're gonna say like the smile is tattooed on, which
Yeah.
could
Like if that's
be.
going to be part of his transformation into the crow, I have no issue with that.
Right.
We've seen worse.
Well, I mean, I thought it was cool in the third one where like the burn was the mount, like
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah,
I thought
or
that was cool,
yeah.
actually.
And then you have what the Edward Furlong one was
So
awful.
okay,
Yeah.
so he's got a tattoo. He's got a spider web behind his ear. He's got one that's like part of his sideburn, and then the one above his eyebrow says lullaby. Because there's a couple stills on like IMDb. Okay, that's the same
Yeah.
side. You don't really see it from the other side. I think that's it. Those are the ones from there. But the chest ones, it's like I said, it's like the all-seeing eye is the big one. The
Yeah.
weird face. There's a tombstone that
Yeah.
says when 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 now? Wendy now? When now? I think it's when now. It
Mm.
looks like some kind of like fairy or like the wasp almost on the other one. And then there's like a chain that breaks, and then like a centipede that's going down like down to the groin, and then like some crosses and something else on the other side of his abs. Um, I don't think I've ever zoomed into somebody's abs like I have today right now. Um, but yeah, I mean you can see them on IMDb. They're okay. Like I'm not gonna be mad about it until if they're distracting during the movie, I will be mad about it. If they are not distracting during the movie and it's just how he looks, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that was more the problem with the Jared Leto stuff was a lot of people were like, it was distracting. Like when he talked, they were distracting.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I guess like I told Chip today was like the tattoos, even the tattoos on the Joker didn't bother me. It was that grill. That
oh yeah.
grill. That's what bothered me.
I will
I was like,
agree. I will
God
agree.
damn.
I will agree. His grill was definitely something that bothered me. Um, but I didn't mind. I thought he had a little too many tattoos on the face. And then, but other than that, I actually liked the Jared Leto Joker. I thought he was.
I thought his hand thing with the smile was actually a pretty cool
Mhm,
way of doing it, like a Joker tattoo. It's like,
mhm.
okay, I see that being a thing. I get that point. But again, I think, Hollywood kind of
So
guys,
I thought he really felt like the one from Dark Knight, like big white jacket, purple Lamborghini, fucking Joker, man. Like that was, and I thought that's what they were going for, and I think that's who we got.
yeah,
So, but anyway, all right, we will talk more about other stuff next week. Because we're out of time
yeah.
and stuff. So we will see everybody. Hopefully Saturday. We see some people for free graphic novel day. Um, if not, we'll see you next week over in Ohio at their anniversary sale. Um, and then also don't forget the warehouse sales are coming up in April, and free comic book days right on the cusp. And you got to get your tickets for Three Rivers Comic Con, and we got so many more people to announce. Um,
Yep.
we have like probably four more to announce at least. Um, and I will do a soft announcement. We are officially going to be on the CBCS website listed as a show for this year. And they will be there to do all of your grading. and they do more than just comic books. They do comics, they do manga, they do magazines, and they do sports cards. They do sports cards and memorabilia because they are part of Beckett. So they're the only place right now doing manga, which is cool. So you can bring your stuff down, you can drop it off with Cody. He will take it and get it all graded up, and they will mail it back to you. Last year, people were getting their stuff back in like less than 2 weeks. It was crazy. I'm excited. Maria Wolf's gonna be there. Chris Roop's gonna be there, and he's done a lot of her variants, so he'll be right across the aisle. You can buy them from him, take them to her, take them to Cody. Off they go, all signed and ready to go.
Yep.
It's gonna be awesome. And then we have Todd and Larry that are going to be there doing the Tribe relaunch. Like, you can get that signed and graded right away. Trish Forrester is going to have Feral out by then. Dave Wachter's going to have Uncanny Valley out by then. It's going to be crazy. There's a lot of new wall book stuff that's going to be out around the time of our show. So make sure you come and check it out. And like I said, keep your eye out. We have some guests that we're going to be announcing in the next couple weeks. So keep your ears up and get those tickets. It'll be good times. It'll be faster to just buy it early and come on in and scan her out. So, all right, guys, have a great night.